Raise your hand if you have ever spent hours researching an ancestor only to realize that your research has been down the wrong path the whole time. Don't worry, we've all been there, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 red flags that indicate that your genealogy research might be off track. Hey there, if we haven't met before, I'm Lisa with Are You My Cousin, and this YouTube channel is designed to help you find your ancestors, grow your family tree, but not be overwhelmed in the process. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, you're in the right place. Today's video is sponsored by Storied.com. Family history isn't just about names and dates. It's about our family stories, the triumphs, the quirks, the everyday moments that have shaped who we are and who our ancestors were. And capturing this type of information is something I am passionate about. But being able to document my family's, quirky moments and stories has not always been easy for me to do in an organized manner. And that's where today's sponsored Storied comes in. Storied isn't just another family tree builder. Yes, you can research and grow your family tree there, but it's also a platform that lets you collect not just the facts, but your family's stories too. I recently shared a story of my great-grandmother's hilarious dislike of daylight savings time. Her clock was never changed when we went from Eastern Standard Time to daylight savings time. Now, I don't really know how she managed her time during daylight savings time, but somehow she did. And that clock, her clock that I have today, is never changed to daylight savings time. Now, that's a really fun story about my great-grandmother that would be lost if I didn't document it. It's stories like that that capture the interest of our family members and create those family connections. Now, another thing that I really love about Storied is it recognizes that genealogy research and the pursuit of family history is not a solo adventure. Their groups feature allows you to collaborate with relatives, add photos, and weave together the stories from the family lore. So don't let your family stories be forgotten, and let Storied help you preserve your family legacy. Visit Storied.com and start building your family's legacy today. Today, I'm sharing with you 5 warning signs that your genealogy research might be off track. Now, I'm not calling anybody out, not trying to make anybody feel bad because I have made every one of these mistakes myself in the past. But I want to show you patterns and ways to recognize when your genealogy research is getting off track so that you can course correct and save yourself a lot of time and frustration. Red flag number 1, autopilot your hint acceptance. Now, if you have your family tree at one of the major genealogy databases or any genealogy database, typically the algorithms will provide hints, recommendations for either records for your ancestors that you already have or potentially new ancestors to add to your family tree. The problem is if you click those accept because it looks right or it's, quite frankly, easy and quick, you run the risk of adding individuals or records to your family tree that are not necessarily correct. It may not be your ancestor. It may be the wrong record for a particular ancestor. And then when you go forward in your research, you're basing new research on erroneous answers. So use those hints that a platform is giving you as just hints or just suggestions. Verify that information before you actually add it to your family tree. The algorithms are trying to help you on these platforms. They're not necessarily doing the research for you. So make sure you are verifying that record or that ancestor before you add them to your family tree. Red flag number 2, secondary source dependency. If you're adding facts to your family tree about your ancestors based on secondary sources primarily, then you run the risk of, again, adding erroneous information to your tree. So let's back up a moment and talk about a primary source versus a secondary source. A primary source of information for your family tree basically comes from an original record. Primary sources were those original records that were created at the time of the event. A secondary source would have been created many, many years later when memories could have faded or maybe not been quite as accurate. Or a secondary source might be considered a compilation of the genealogies that you find on somebody's website or in somebody's family tree. Now, sometimes this information looks very authoritative and very accurate, especially if somebody has their own family tree that you are viewing and seeing really a lot of facts and a lot of documentation. But again, before you add any individual or any fact and record to your family tree, you want to verify that it's accurate and that if you're seeing information but you're not seeing a primary source or where they got the original information, take that extra time, take those extra steps, and dig for those original records. Red flag number 3, same name collections. Are you adding every John Smith born in 1850 in that county because the name matches and the records, well, they look close enough? And so you add him to your tree, but there's not necessarily the right connection there. If you take a step back when you have a common name ancestor like this, and you look at the timeline of his or her life, put all of those records that you're finding on a timeline, what you might find is that you have an individual who is living in 3 different counties at the same time and lived to be 120 years old. Obviously, you've got an issue with the records. You've got more than one person of the same name. So when you find a record for that John Smith, take a moment and ask yourself, what actual evidence do I have that this is my John Smith? You want to make sure you're doing more than just matching his name and an approximate location. Look for records that are going to connect your John Smith or that record to known family and a known social group. Yes, it takes extra work, but it's worth it so that you have a healthy family tree. Now, as I shared these red flags with you, be sure and hit the like button if you have ever done any of these particular errors in your own family tree. Please let me know. I am not the only one out there who has made these errors. Red flag number 4, documentation desert. Someone asks you, where did you find that birth date for your ancestor? And well, you really can't remember where. You know you found it somewhere, but was it in a census record? Was it in a birth certificate? You're not really sure. This is an easy thing to have happen. When you and I are in research mode, we are very, very focused on the records. We're very focused on analyzing the records that we found and building those connections. And we think, I'll remember where I got that from. I'll write that down later. I'll come back and document where I found that, because we're on the trail of that ancestor. We're finding more and more records. And so we think in our heads, I'll remember. I'll come back tomorrow and go back in and document where I found all this. Guys, I can assure you, you're not going to remember. You're not going to remember where you found it. You're not going to remember to come back and document what you haven't documented so far. Make sure you document your resources as you go forward. Document the records that you're finding for your ancestors as you go. So document your sources as you research. Guys, I don't want to send you back into high school English class research paper where every comma has to be perfect or every quotation mark needs to be in the right place. I want you to think of these sources and documenting your sources as basically a trail of breadcrumbs, so that you are able to follow a trail of breadcrumbs back to that source for that record if you should need it again in the future, or you want to share it with another researcher. Your future self is going to thank you when you need to verify that fact for someone or build on it for future research. Red flag number 5, cherry picking your evidence or conflict avoidance. You have found a census record for your ancestor that states he was born in Ohio, but the family story says he was born in Ireland. Instead of investigating further, you just sort of ignore that Ohio information and assume he was born in Ireland because that's the family narrative. That's what the family has said. Sometimes we can get really attached to family stories, or we think we know what our ancestors' life was like and we want it in a nice, tidy package. And well, conflicting information gets messy. It's complicated. And well, it requires us to do a lot more work. So really, sometimes it's easier to pretend it didn't exist, right? But if you have multiple birth dates for an ancestor, multiple locations, multiple immigration dates that don't seem to match, you owe it to your ancestor, you owe it to your own genealogy research and family tree to sort it out, to collect all of the evidence and evaluate the sources. To start with, which source is more reputable? Which one's reliable? Is it that oral history piece that has, come through several generations and the memory of it might be a little off? Or do you have a primary source that says, this is the date that somebody immigrated, or this is the date that they were born on? We owe it to ourselves, guys. We put so much time and effort into researching our ancestors. We owe it to ourselves to make sure that we are evaluating the sources of information that we have and solving those complicated, messy, shall we say, genealogy puzzles that we're working on. Make sure that we have sorted out any conflicting information so that we know we have the right ancestor, the right story, and our tree is healthy. Now, I want you to remember that we are not going to be perfect researchers. This is not about being perfect. But by sharing these red flags, I want to bring awareness to areas where you can strengthen your own personal research. Now, if you would like to learn more strategies for finding your ancestors and avoiding common genealogy mistakes, watch the video on your screen now.